let's make you some stubs. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome. I'm going to try and give some insight on some potential upgrades for this upcoming roster update, which is on 9.3. It shows right there. Some pointers to point you in the right direction and basically give you a trick that a lot of people are figuring out, but I am actually just going to show you how to do it and why it's going on. So I'll show you guys something that a lot of you probably see in the market that's probably kind of confusing. So we're going to go to the community market and I'm explaining exactly what I'm talking about. All right, here is the example right here. As you see, sell now price for a gold Robinson Cano is 100. This is for quite a few players. If you look through the market, I'm going to explain why this happens. What this is, a quick sale value for a gold is 1,000 stubs. So obviously there's something wrong here because it shows 100 stubs. So what people do right before the roster update, what they do is, I'm going to actually try it. People are making tons of stubs on this. So what's going to happen here is people are going to the day before or 2 days before the roster update, they're going to go to players they think are going to go up in tier. So for example, Robinson Cano went from a silver to a gold. So a bunch of these people put in a 100 stub order. There were a bunch of orders ahead of them, but they put in a 100 stub order because this is what happens. When you put in this 100 stub order a couple days before and you think this card is going to go, everyone that has orders in there, they're going to pull their orders because that card is worth more. So what people do is the people that are at this 100 stub range, they don't sell their orders, they keep them in there. And then sometimes what happens is, actually this happens all the time, but quick sell value for a gold is 1,000. If you get this card for 100, you're going to quick sell it right away. So you're going to make 900 subs by having this 100 order in here. And it could be a while. These numbers are going to stay here. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. This is going on throughout the market. You guys can actually test this theory out a couple days before. So the roster update's on 9/3, so that's Thursday. Go to a card that you think is going to end up turning and put in a price that's lower than all of the sell now prices. For example, I'm high on, who am I high on? Xander Bogaerts turning this week. I'm really hoping he turns this week. He's currently in 83. If I leave my order in there, a lot of these people are going to pull their orders just because he's going to turn. When he turns diamond, everyone's pulling those orders because no one's going to sell for that price. But a lot of people don't know those orders are going to stay in there. So if he ends up turning diamond, do like 2,000 stubs because no matter what, those orders are still going to stay in there. And then once you get him for those 2,000 stubs, that order is going to go through you, which is the next one in line. A lot of people are going to do this. That's why you see a lot of these in the market like this. They are under the value of the quick sell price. It's because people are doing this. There's one. I'm going to show you another one here real quick. Look, here's another one. Here's Jose Abreu. Obviously, you see the sell now. All these right here actually are doing this because a lot of people are taking advantage of this. So we'll do Whit Merrifield right here. Sell now price is 2,500. As you know, a quick sell value for a diamond is 5,000 stubs. 94 orders for 25.19. People that get Whit Merrifield, they're going to sell him. You can just do sell now and that's going to go to the next available order. A lot of people do this. A lot of people didn't pull these orders here because a lot of more people are realizing you can do this. A couple days before the roster update, obviously Whit Merrifield went from a gold to a diamond. A lot of people came in here knowing he was going to turn. They put in a 2,519 stub price and they just left it there. They didn't pull the order. So now they're next in line and you can't put in a sell now order past this price until all of these are out of the way. Basically what they're going to have to do is get rid of all these orders and then his price will be at 5K eventually, but all these orders have to go through first. All right, here's another thing that I get a lot of questions on. And a lot of people don't understand, but I'll try and explain it. So you see how the inside edge is showing an 85. He's playing up. Ozzy Albies is playing up today. This is not going to affect his value for the upcoming roster update. The inside edge doesn't take into consideration if a player is on the IL, which Ozzy Albies is. So just because he's playing up on inside edge, Nick Anderson was playing up on inside edge before. People have messaged me, asked like, hey, is he going to go? He's playing up on inside edge. The answer is no. Just because he's playing up on inside edge doesn't mean that's going to affect the roster update. He is currently on the IL. You guys have to be kind of aware of these players that are on the IL. If they are on the IL, if they are day-to-day, I would really consider staying away from these cards just because you are not going to get an upgrade that you're looking for the current roster update. You can obviously invest in these cards for the future. Inside edge does not affect the roster update. That just affects the player, who they're playing that day, and if that player was playing. So no matter what, it doesn't take into consideration the IL. Update last week, just to give you an idea of the predictions that I was correct on and I was wrong on. All of those people in the low tier, none of them got an upgrade. Machado ended up going diamond. Goldschmidt went to an 84. Nelson Cruz stayed. Lamet stayed. Tim Anderson, I think, went up one. I think he's an 81 now. Luis Robert is a 79 currently. Ian Happ, I think, stayed, and Santander stayed as well. Jansen is currently an 83. Hendricks went to an 84. Darvish went diamond. Nick Anderson got injured, so I didn't change that out, so he stayed at an 82. Abreu ended up going diamond, was very high on him. Jimenez was a 78. He went gold. Kyle Lewis went from a 68 to a 75. So a lot of these investments I am going to give you hopefully turn into the same stubs that you can make. And then as you see down there, Liam Hendricks, Correa, I was high on Correa, Nick Anderson. Abreu went diamond, so I made about 250K from that update. And then also I had some Yu Darvish as well. I was invested in him, but not as much as these other cards that were down there. So I made about 250K from the last update. Let's go over the ones for this upcoming one. Same graph as last week, just different players in different areas and some new ones actually. All this is basically I'm very high on these players turning, actually getting upgraded. The medium ones, I'm high on them getting upgraded, maybe not this roster update. The low ones I don't think are going to get updates just based the way they are playing. So basically how I go about this is I keep track of obviously the MLB season, how these players are playing. I'm going to go one by one just to explain kind of why I think or do not think they will get upgraded. Liam Hendricks, he's been lights out all year. He's an 84. I hope he finally gets to an 85, gets that gold to the diamond. Hopefully gets to a diamond just because, I mean, I'm sitting on about 60 of his cards. Xander Bogaerts actually was very high 2 roster updates ago, and then I was actually very low on him this last roster update, and now I'm back up on him because he's absolutely destroying the ball. I think he hopefully turns to an 85. Max Fried has been lights out all year. He does pitch, I believe, he's an 81 here, so he does pitch, I believe, today or tomorrow. And if that is a good start, I could see him getting a significant boost, 83, 84. Luis Robert, he's been absolutely killing the ball lately. He's been very consistent. Teoscar Hernandez is having a very quiet, good year. This past week, he's hitting 348. He's got 2 home runs, 4 RBIs, and 6 runs scored. I think he finally gets to a gold. He's been gradually upgraded. He was a bronze. He went to a silver, and now hopefully this roster update he'll get to a gold. 78, Jonathan Schoop. You don't really hear much about the Detroit Tigers because they're not very good. They're actually playing better, but they actually ended up just sweeping the Minnesota Twins. On the year, he's hitting 303. He's got 8 home runs, 19 RBIs, but looking at this past week, he's hitting 409. He's 9 for 22. He's got 2 home runs, 7 RBIs. So I think he actually ends up getting hopefully to a silver. Remember, if he goes from a silver to a gold, quick sell price for a gold is 1,000 stubs. So keep an eye on that sell now price. If he's going for about 500, 600 subs right now, you're going to make about 400 subs per card you buy. Randall Grichuk, man, these Blue Jays are going to be fun to watch just because Randall Grichuk is hitting, Teoscar Hernandez is hitting, Vlad Jr. is on this high list for me because he's hitting as well. On the year, Grichuk is hitting 307. He's got 9 home runs, 24 RBIs. This past week, 370, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs. I think he ends up getting to a gold this week. I'm actually pretty high on him. So I've invested quite a few into his silver card. His price is kind of high right now just because a lot of people are buying him. Ian Happ, he's been hitting the ball really well. I think he ends up getting to a 78, 79 hopefully. Andrew McCutchen is kind of like getting a second wind in his career. He's obviously a little bit older, but he's absolutely destroying the ball this year. This past week, he's hitting 435. He's got 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. On the year, he's hitting 280. 4 home runs, 20 RBIs, 3 stolen bases. But this past week, he's got 2 more stolen bases, so maybe they up his speed a little bit. There are a few days left. Keep that in mind. McCutchen could ball out a little bit more and end up getting to a goal, just depending on how good he does. Jake Cronenworth, this dude is absolutely destroying the baseball the entire year. In 97 at-bats, he's hitting 361. He's got 4 home runs, 17 RBIs. You don't hear much about him because he's on the Padres. Obviously, Fernando Tatis Jr. is the man over there, so he's getting a lot of the highlights. He's usually batting in the 5, 6, 7 hole, so he's getting some opportunities to drive in some runs. Past week, he's 9 for 22, 409, 1 home run, 5 RBIs, but he's been consistently hitting. He just actually ended up going to a silver, so hopefully he can get to a 78, 79, and then in the future maybe get to a gold, and that's where you really profit that quick sell of 1,000 stubs. Vlad Jr., I feel like finally gets to a silver. He's currently at 74. Again, he's hitting the ball very well this past week. He's in 391. He's got a homer, 10 RBIs. On the season, he's hitting 273, 5 home runs, 17 RBIs. But this past month, he's hitting over 300, so he's gradually getting better. Adam Wainwright, he actually just threw a complete game, did get the win. He had 9 strikeouts. He's currently sitting at a 72. It was actually against the Cleveland Indians, which they're no slouch, so that was actually a pretty impressive game from him. So that was the 30th, so that was yesterday. Yesterday, he threw this complete game, 9 strikeouts. I feel like he could get to 75 based on just that performance alone. They're upgrading these players very, very quickly. As you saw, Kyle Lewis went from a 69 to a 75, so they're upgrading weekly, which helps. Going to the medium, Paul Goldschmidt, I feel like he will eventually get to diamond, not sure this week. He could do a little bit more this week to ensure that. Blake Snell, I was really high on him. I'm actually really high on him. I invested in quite a bit, but he had a start yesterday, 5 innings, gave up 2 earned. I don't think that warrants a diamond status just yet. That's more for the future. Kenta Maeda, again, had his worst outing technically for the Twins, but he's pitching really well the entire year. These 2 players right here, Snell and Maeda, they don't pitch before the roster update, so that last start they had is going to determine if they go diamond or not. That's why they're on my medium list, because I don't think they do. Luis Castillo pitched yesterday. I don't think he goes diamond. He pitched against the Cubs, and I was actually pretty high on him because he was actually cruising going into the start, but he got hit pretty hard. Seth Lugo went from a relief pitcher to a starter. Corey Seager's starting to hit the ball again. If he gets to a diamond, I feel like that could be this roster update. The reason that is next to him is because I think he could get there. I think he could finally get there. He's hitting about 391 this week. He's done enough to basically warrant a diamond turn, but we'll see if he can continue that the next few days before the update. Luke Voigt, he's in the 90 power already. He's gone from a silver to a gold this last roster update. He's got to up the contact a little bit. Keep an eye on him. Robinson Cano is hitting everything this year. On the year, this is what Robinson Cano is doing. He's hitting 369. He's got 5 home runs, 16 RBIs. He's been consistent the entire year. This last week, he's in 360. He's got a homer, 3 RBIs. So keep an eye on him. He's not going to go diamond. He could get a bump to an 83, 84, but that price is going to jump if he gets that high. So if you're going to make an investment on him, I would do it now. Devers, Naquin, Will Myers, all these guys are right on that verge of going to a gold. They're all hitting the ball very, very well. Sixto Sanchez, if you guys don't have a lot of stubs, Sixto Sanchez is a pitcher for the Marlins. He just pitched 7 innings, got the win, had 10 strikeouts, didn't give up an earned run. He will, hopefully, I think he's going to be turning silver 100%. He should be on my high list just because I think he's going silver. If you guys don't have a lot of stubs, don't invest a lot in these cards that are already pretty high. I'd go for lower tier guys like Wainwright, Sixto Sanchez. These guys are going to be guys that obviously you can afford, and you don't want to burn all your stubs because sometimes investments don't work out. Sixto Sanchez, Adam Wainwright, Vlad, all these guys are not very high right now for investing in stubs. So all these guys on the low list, again, Fletcher, I get a lot of questions about. He's day-to-day. I don't think he gets an upgrade. He needs to hit more for power. He's hitting the ball. He's got the contact pretty good. He's got high contact as it is, so I don't think he turns. Castellanos went from a diamond to a gold. He's hitting the ball okay. I don't think he changes. Jose Ramirez is just doing okay. Lamet needs another good outing. He gave up a few runs his last start, and I don't know if he starts before this next update, so I'm not high on him. Brandon Lowe is just staying a little bit steady, playing a little bit worse than what he has been. And then Tim Anderson, contact numbers are actually very high. I think they're like 81 versus right and 109 versus left. So his contact numbers are very high. His power numbers could get a boost. His defense is not very good in this game, and actually in real life, it's not the greatest. So his defense could technically get an upgrade if he starts playing a little bit better, but I'm not very high on him just because he already made it to gold. I don't know if he makes it to diamond this year. All of these players on these lists could end up getting upgrades. I'm just showing you exactly how I rank them on getting upgrades. Obviously the low ones I'm not very high on, but there you go with my investments down below. Again, Hendricks, Snell, Goldschmidt, Xander Bogaerts, Jansen I'm still high on, even though, actually I didn't put Jansen on this list. I'm still high on Kenley Jansen. I would probably put him at a medium, maybe a high, just because like he did so well last week. He didn't get an upgrade at all. So Luis Castillo, I'm actually high on him for future updates, so I have a bunch of him. Luis Robert, I think, turns gold this week, and then Randall Grichuk as well. Hopefully seeing this helps a little bit to invest in some of these players. Again, I'm not telling you to go buy all these players. I'm just showing you where I rank them and the investments that I'm throwing in there with a little bit of background for each one. All right, hopefully that helped a little bit. Visuals are always better. I feel like when trying to predict roster updates and investing in players. That's why I like to make these graphics so you guys can refer back to this if you want to, go back and see like where I rank them, and then you can kind of make your choice if you want to upgrade or if you want to invest in those players or not. That is going to do it. Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully you guys make investments that are going to profit. Again, I made about 250K profit from last update just by investing in Jose Abreu. He turned Yu Darvish. I had a bunch in. Obviously, you see I'm only at 167 because I have reinvested back into the market in a bunch of those players that I showed you the last slides. Hopefully those profit again. I got up to about, what I get up to? I was up to about 600,000 stubs by the last roster update. Just because I profited 250, my stub count went up double that just because I made double on each card. So that helped a lot. We have quite a bit of stubs here. Again, if you do not have a bunch of stubs, I would highly suggest not investing in some of these players that are 2,500 subs right now, or 3,300 stubs. You're still going to make profit if they turn to a diamond. You're still going to make 1,700 per. But again, there's risk and reward with roster updates, with investments. So keep your investment, depending on your sub count, keep your investments a little bit lower. Don't go all in on all these cards. As you saw, I like to invest in multiple ranges of my high, mediums, and lows, just because like there are a few roster updates left and some of those may pan out, and I have a decent amount of stubs, so I can do that. If you guys don't follow me, social media links are in the description below. If you have questions, I know I didn't go over a ton of these cards. I went over some that I am keeping an eye on, so I obviously missed a bunch. Let me know in that description below as well. I can try and take a peek at those and comment on where I think they'll stand or hopefully get upgraded. As always, thank you guys for watching and good luck in your investments.